They wander when they're 40 because they've been drained by the ornate Proverbs 7 lady. They finally see it. And some of these guys were so hateful of God. They were such, never mind naysayers, but blasphemers. They were so blasphemous against the Lord in the come up. They were such participants in the mutiny against the body of Christ that just the fact that they think they can take Christian women is frankly bizarre. They're not necessarily thirsty nor hungry for Jesus Christ. They are thirsty and hungry for peace. Men eventually wake up who are in the world. They eventually wake up to the woman of folly's folly. They see it, Mara. It comes late and it comes often at the peril and heinous one at that of women that have been passed up this entire time. They try to go back to women that they passed up. And some of them that will want to try and come back are just like Tsegofadzo that I described earlier. Out here trying to sleep with the girlfriend of his boy. Like, this person is still in the life of your ex. He is still in the life, like proper. He is the cousin of your ex. He is one of your boys, your ex's boys. And they're still hanging out. There's friends on, they are friends, they follow each other on Instagram, friends on Facebook. Check up on one another's lives, and when they bump into each other at the mall, yo boy, unjani, sharp, car, chest bar, all that jazz. No bad blood between them, but he wants you. Men are like that, yo. Like, ain't no boundaries. He wants to bring you around his boys. There's actually even a scene of that nature in there, like, just to show you that this thing is so resonant and so true of men that it's even getting it even gets covered, in entertainment. It happens in the movie Love Jones, where it is that Nia Long has this like friend of Lawrence Tate, her ex-boyfriend, literally take on a date and ask her out and pursue her and everything. And you will see in the movie, when if you watch Love Jones, you will be like to yourself, Nia, you're dumb, girl. You should not be dating your boy's ex, like not even your boy's friend. Even when he's your ex, you don't go on a date with him. And this dude brought Nia along to a party where Lawrence Tate was at as his girl, and all of the friends were like, boy, how could you do something like that? But the thing for me is the woman is the one that has to exercise discretion in this regard. You can't let yourself get shellaed by your ex's anything. You can't. You literally cannot. But that is a strategy that is coming to women in the body of Christ. I gotta go charge my phone. Yeah, so okay, I've charged my phone. I forgot what I can feel it's a guy. But I was basically just talking about how it is that there's like a total risk now facing God-fearing women of not even so much even ex-boyfriends coming back, but men that are inappropriate to be with, trying to rock up. The thing that motivates them to want to come into our lives is the observation of godliness. They're not necessarily interested in Jesus Christ. They just want the benefits of Jesus Christ. That which keeps people in a bunch, that which keeps us pious, that which keeps us consecrated. That's what they're after, because it has borne fruit. There is emptiness in their lives as a result of having pursued dead things. And the immoral woman is a snare. Her feet go down to death. She is a horrific snare to any man that she meets. Some of these women, however, that are a snare to these men, causing them to now want to come and make our lives a living nightmare, were inducted into the occult by these men. They were made evil by these men. God describes them as Medusa. Medusa is this woman that was done dirty by men starting out. She's like within a group of Gorgon ladies. They've got snakes for hair. It's a mythical story character, right? It's not based on anything of truth, but it's a nice metaphor to be used enough for God to even describe them. Medusa was a coy, dainty woman that got hurt by men, alright? Quite a few of them. I believe they might have sexually harassed her or whatever, and as a result of that, she then turned hostile, and every time a man looks at her, he then gets turned into a stone. Every time a man looks into her eyes, he gets turned into a stone. The root cause was mistreatment by men, alright? And the outcome is now men dying as a result of her. Her feet go down to death, but there is a root cause of some past hurt. The women in question, in particular, were inducted, the ones that these men are trying to leave Christian women for. So it's basically like these men don't want to lie in the beds that they made. They made their bed. Now they must lie in it, okay, these women were introduced into the occult by their boyfriends turned husbands. Some of them were trying to pursue Jesus. Some of these women were trying to pursue Jesus, but then their journey to Christ was just stopped, thwarted, blocked halfway, dead break, by either the entry of this man into their lives or this man introducing doctrines of demons and destructive heresies. One of my best friends had that happen to her. Around the same time that I was interrogating the things of God, she was interrogating the things of God. We were happy to fellowship with each other. And her boyfriend kept taking her to some church. And in this church, they used to teach strange things. And I remember even saying to her, where does this guy get his doctrines? Because it's not from the scriptures. He would say stuff like Adam and Eve were not the first people created, or that they were not the only ones on the earth, and that this and that. Like, he had all these doctrines, and I'm like, but based on what, girl? Like, this is sola scriptura. At the end of the day, we are leaning on nothing but the scriptures. She had all these doctrines that she would flail in my direction, and then she finally admitted that she and her man had started attending some funny church. This man with whom apparently the two of them were now getting born again, all along they were together, and she made it sound as if both of them are now interested in the things of God. That same man that took this friend of mine to church impregnated her out of wedlock. So it's like, so this church of yours is teaching you that Adam and Eve were not the first people created. However, the same church is not teaching you to stay away from sex before marriage. Why did he put a baby in your stomach? Why did you guys do that? Why is there no... Because she was convicted of sexual sin when she and I were having a conversation in my car, and yet she went and had a baby with a guy that apparently is also interested in her newfound spirituality. This man also, upon introducing her into this cultic church, I believe bruised her and broke her so badly, causing her to even have a child out of wedlock, even though she didn't want to do that she ended up turning to sorcery to handle her friends, because now she had squandered some part of herself and wanted the rest of her girls to follow suit, and I just so happened to be among those that she would then bewitch. So she was made into Medusa by a bad man. I don't believe that former best friend of mine was introduced into the occult by this man, but I believe that she was drawn to occult magic because of what she experienced under him. Some of them, however, it is to the extreme of the man actively saying, if you want to get your life back together, if you want to get this done, if you want ABC, I know a guy, I know a girl. Some of them literally went out of their way to teach the women witchcraft. And the one that I had a dream about taught someone that I know witchcraft. And this thing turned this woman so evil that she is now, never mind the bane of my existence, but the bane of the existences of many other people. She is now like a local witch. She's now like a neighborhood menace. And she would never have dabbled in this stuff if her man did not first take her to someone that he knew. And this same man, from what the Lord is showing me, is looking at me some kind of way on YouTube. And he is saying stuff like, things are not supposed to be like this. Look, I will not write this man off altogether and say that he is just heinous and comprehensively to the very nth degree just evil in the way that he is looking at me or thinking of me. He is a man that is sitting in a great deal of regret. It's like he made a bed that he doesn't want to lie in. He recognizes the folly of what he did. He wishes he had not done it because the outcomes that now today are facing everybody are just so heinous to him that he doesn't know what to do. And he has gone on right ahead to allow himself to develop feelings for a person that he cannot be with. The first time I saw the crush that this guy has on me, I completely ignored it and didn't even share it because it was literally that taboo. It was that taboo. In the one dream, I was just kind of hovering around in his environment. He then stopped me and kissed me on my mouth and then walked away. You could see that there was apprehension in the fact that he kissed me because he knew that he wasn't supposed to, because he was a married man, and if like his feelings for me were inappropriate, it would be like a father having a crush on his own girl child. Like, that's just how too close to home this guy is. Like, no, it can never happen. It can absolutely never happen. And for him to have a crush on me is frankly taboo. It's like extremely taboo, given the connections that we have to each other and to the spouse, his spouse. It's like something that is too taboo. But why did he even develop feelings for me? It's because he allowed himself to bask outside of a Christian woman's life for years, watching what God does in his daughters while being married to Medusa. And the diametric opposition of way of being between his Medusa wife and me has caused him so much regret. It has made him labor on what could have been. There is another woman that he was interested in prior to him marrying his Medusa wife. That he is like, maybe if I had left this woman if I had left my wife, my eventual wife for this woman, I wouldn't be in this situation. I wouldn't be feeling this way. I wouldn't be feeling so much regret. Understand also that the Medusa woman that he married, the woman that is now his wife, made him marry her. So this man introduces this woman to witchcraft. She was out on a limb, having a hard time in life with stuff. And this man was like, have you considered ABC? She then tries it and then becomes worse than him at it. It's like she became twice the daughter of hell that he was. He was into occult magic, but she had an addictive personality. And so she took it literally too far. She got so deeply involved in it that he now today regrets that he ever introduced her to witchcraft. The thing that he is looking at is my life. And he is aware that his wife has participated severely and heinously in the mutiny against me. And his wife keeps on going back to the drawing board where I am concerned. And he looks at my life and how everybody is living around me and is like, but it shouldn't be like this. Like, to him, it's like witchcraft should not be so destructive. It should not so shatter structures, families, friends, to such an nth degree that there is no recognizability anymore of what used to be. Like, nobody is the same anymore because of this. And to him, it's like basically just wanting your bread buttered on both sides. He wanted to control just how much destruction can effect, that he might be able to have a normal life while, however, controlling everybody around him. It, however, produced so much calamity that he now regrets ever introducing this now seriously obsessed and addicted to witchcraft wife to it. And the ironic thing about it all is that thanks to his introduction of her, thanks to his introducing to her of sorcery, she then got frustrated when they were dating with how long he was taking to propose marriage, and then went to go and consult a sangoma to hurry him along. So essentially, his wife jujued him to make him marry her. He was already uncertain about her way before they got married. He wasn't sure. He wanted to finish this thing. He was interested in other people on numerous times throughout the course of their relationship, largely because of her. Because even before being involved in sorcery, she was kind of a wayward woman. She was always a little bit of a Jezebel. Okay? She was always a little bit of a Jezebel. However, he stuck around with that Jezebelian structure because he loved it. But he got to a point of severe apprehension to stay, enough to not marry. You know, he had so much apprehension from marrying her that he lingered in Sabajola for years. And this same man who introduced this woman to witchcraft then got bewitched by the wife, by the girlfriend at the time who then became a wife. He was unsure as to whether he wants to marry her. And then next thing he decided that he's going to do it. And that was an invested decision. He was jujued by the very woman he introduced to juju. He was bewitched by the very woman he introduced to witchcraft. So basically he shot himself with his own gun. He's like a drug dealer that smokes his own drugs and then dies from a drug overdose. You don't smoke your own supply, but that dude smoked his own supply and is now dying from it. Many of these men that are in this bunch, this knot, this situation, either introduced their women to witchcraft or led them to it by simply messing up so badly that these women would do it. The one friend of mine was introduced into a cult by this dude, a cultic church, and he in and of himself was busy with sorcery, and the outcomes of her life as a result of this manipulation then made her a witch. She became a Gorgon because of him. But you see, later on, they hate that they're dealing with a Gorgon, because the thing about a Gorgon, the thing about Medusa, is that when you look into her eyes as a man, you get turned into a stone. So these men are hardened, their feet go down to death. They know they are empty. There's a lot lacking. They are missing true family, that which is truly important in this world. Abenayo, Gabanda, and everything is a facade. They're faking. Their lives are a big, fat, chunky facade. So they long for meaning. And it is in this season of meaning that they're in, that they're starting to sort of kind of low-key wake up. And so their waking up is really not problematic in and of itself. It's good because, conviction of sin is imperative for you to at all consider the things of Jesus Christ. They have some kind of an awakening, enough to at least want to consider the things of God. But they've got this caveat that I can't really do the things of God as I long to do the things of God, or at the extremity at which I want to do the things of God, unless I've got a godly woman. So essentially they want to wear out a woman that has already been flying with God, with their presence. They want to come in the lives of godly women, thinking that these women are the thing, the sutures that are going to stitch them back up together again. They think that we are the thing that's going to patch them back up together again, like Humpty Dumpty. They want women that have been riding with Christ this whole time because they want to see if maybe the void, the vortex, the twisting one at that in them cannot be stilled or filled by us. By us. They are developing strong feelings for godly women, the same women of which somewhere in the past they passed up, the same women of which historically they either passed up or participated in the mutiny against. They reviled us and they were blaspheming our God. They were such God haters, so blasphemous, that they made it a career to mock Christianity. And so therefore the godly women in question that they now today have feelings for, they made it a sport, a thing that they looked forward to doing, a mockery, right? To mock us. They did that. They made it their life's mission or prerogative to mess with the body of Christ. They were among the mutineers against the very women who are not today single. They cast spells to make sure we don't get married. They helped their wives to hurt us. The sabotage, the backstabbing that we endured at the hands of friends and family members, they did it. They are the ones that sowed discord between our families. They're the ones that basically were trying to prove us wrong. And now today, they want us. Now today, they like us. They have feelings for us. They have crushes on us because there is a meaning we have that they lack. So now they want us and not so much God. They've got 5% of what is required to get born again. Some kind of conviction that this is not okay. Life is not supposed to be like this. But they don't have sufficient conviction and even guilt for that matter to actually really turn to Jesus. They feel as if though we are the vessel through which they can enter the kingdom of heaven when there is no name under heaven by which men must be saved other than that of Jesus Christ. Christ is the only way to peace, true tranquility, that which fills a void. He is the one that stills waters. It is written in his word, come to me, all of you who labor and are heavily laden, and I will give you rest. Jesus is their rest. He is their Sabbath. He is their peace. Do you understand? They don't, however, want to interrogate that because they feel as if though they need a vessel that is a woman. They have made idols out of godly girls, and in so making idols out of us are then slapping us with things like korobela, which is love juju, love spells, or what is spells to ascertain that we don't get married. In cases where it's too taboo to be with us because, like proper, too close for comfort, they are just trying to block marriage from coming at all. They are jealous for Christian women in unacceptable ways. And some of them know they can never be with these women because it's literally that taboo to try and get with her. It's that taboo, like I said, so taboo that it's at the height of a dad having a crush on a daughter type setup thing. But instead of a dad, it's maybe your sister's husband having a crush on you. That level of taboo. Your sister's husband or your cousin's husband or your, aunt's husband. The kinds of heinous acts that you found in the Acts of the, is it the Acts of the Apostles or 1st or 2nd Corinthians, where it is that there was a dude out here in the church that was, sleeping with his father's wife, is it? Not his father's wife, but his, the wife of just some taboo situation that caused that man to be expelled from among the people of God. That kind of taboo. You cannot be here. Those who know that this is too taboo to run with, they are actively now thwarting the prospective marriages of these women that they participated in the mutiny of by not only sowing discord between her and a sister, a brother, a cousin, and whatnot, but they also taught this female that is the Gorgon lady that they're married to, their Medusa. They taught her witchcraft. They are the person that inducted their brides into sorcery. And now they want to divorce these women for godly girls, and where it's too taboo for them to end up with these godly women, they are blocking their marriages. They're blocking, they low-key kind of like, coveting a woman, desiring her from a distance, knowing you can't be with her, but then making sure that nobody else can ever be with her. Like, it's bad enough I am being pursued by the sorcery of like ex-boyfriends that are jealous for me being with any other guy, or strangers that I passed up. But when it's someone where it is that it's absolutely impossible for us to be together, it would be too taboo, which is the family would be in disarray. Do you understand? They are low-key in a corner, covetous of whoever would be this woman's husband, enough to literally try and block that from happening. There is a whole epidemic of this nature, rising up from the ground, rearing its ugly head with fangs and everything, literally creeping up the skirts of Christian women. Inappropriate men to be with. I'm talking sisters, husbands, cousins, husbands, brother, like, guys, I am speaking boyfriend, ex-boyfriends, near and dear, present best friend, like trying to come into the life of ex Yalomuntu because they've been watching the life of this person. They're the ones that broke up that relationship. Like proper, like having one of your boys' very best, your ex-boyfriend's very best friends break you up, so discord between the two of y'all, and then 10 years later, him seeing as 10 years seeing as 10 years has progressed, can I not then try and see if I can be with Karabo? I mean, after all, 10 years have progressed at the peril of Karabo's reputation. Let me charge my phone again. Okie dokie, my phone is plugged into a charger at the back over there, so we should be good. And there's nobody ending me, so I don't have any distractions. Yeah, guys, what is this? This is like a whole total thing. So basically, men that introduced women to the occult, or who led them astray because of what under heaven it is that they're doing, are now super intrigued at the prospect of coming into the lives of godly girls. And it is problematic because, one, they're not actually really truly interested in God, and secondly, it is not our prerogative as women to lead, and thirdly, it is taboo for us to be with them based on history alone. They do feel very bad though. They feel very guilty. The one thing that I got from the dream that God gave me was that all is not as psychopathic, for lack of a better word, as it seems. They essentially, they're like R. Kelly. They wish they could turn back the hands of time. They wish they could do things differently. They wish they had not introduced women to witchcraft. They wish they also had not manipulated women's life with witchcraft. Essentially, okay, so God gave men the leadership, right, prerogative to lead. He gave them headship over society. And when societies calamitize and fall apart, there is an inherent knowing, an inherent understanding inside them. It's almost primal that they did it, that they are the reason why everything fell apart. They comprehend what part they played in the mutiny against women, the indiscretion that women walk in, and the indiscretion that children walk in. They low-key kind of understand that they got everything to do with it. They failed abysmally at being leaders, and as a result, women were led astray. Many of these men are the cause of the creation of the Jezebelian issue. They are at the root cause of why their women went awry. They want to take responsibility for that. They, however, don't know where to start. And unfortunately for them, they think that where it is that they are going to start to take responsibility for the folly of women is in leaving the present women of folly and starting again from scratch. It's like burning down a house by mistake. And instead of admitting that you burned down the house, trying to build another one next door, while the one next door is still burning. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on. Yes, thank you. Exactly. They destroyed families. They destroyed society. They know they did it. They know they're the reason their wives went awry. They know they're the reason many women went awry. They know they're the reason why women even stabbed each other in the back. They know. And instead of facing the music where they're at and patching up where they're at, bringing in a fire hose to snuff out the flame, the fire, the inferno, where they're at, they're trying to move and leave people burning in a house, leave children burning in a house, and a wife, and go where it is that somebody has always just had fireproof structures up. They want to come now and marry us. They want to come and marry godly women and start again to be better this time. They want to lead better this time, Mara, by tarnishing our reputations. These people that want to rock up know us. Baratseba from Khale. Baratseba from 1994, 2001, 2013. They are not strangers to us. They participated in the mutiny against our lives, and they want to marry us. I'm a daughter that want to make out of us. I'm a taboo. They want to come as your ex-boyfriend's best friend and marry you. They want to come as your ex-boyfriend's cousin and marry you. They want to come as your ex-best friend's cousin and marry, not ex-best friend's cousin, sorry, but as your ex-best friend's husband and marry you. They want to come as your cousin's husband and marry, proper like divorcing a cousin yako and then marrying you. They want to go and divorce your sister and marry you. It's literally that taboo. Bafuna ugukosa ihomreka in such a prolific capacity out of a woman that's been waiting on God for a husband for 10 years, 15 years. They want to come and make a home wrecker at that height out of God's daughters. Women that are in their 30s and 40s, still waiting on God for husbands. Bafuna ukungena empilweni zethu, guys, and marry us, making us taboo as otata umyeni, we cousin, we sisters, we auntie, like proper, like taking an auntie's husband, like y'all. It's so taboo. Like they are. It's at that, like literally it's at that level. I started this message speaking about that random dude Utshegofatso. I gave him the name Tshegofatso. Utshegofatso, that was Tay's boy. Tshegofatso, that was Tay's boy. Tay, of which was my boyfriend, out here giving me a tour of his house where he stayed. Trying to lay with me. Another boyfriend, like they're causing that kind of reputational damage. There is no way that you're gonna go and steal your steal your cousin's husband and you be ever okay in life as a woman. There's no way that you're gonna go and steal your sister's husband and be okay. Your auntie's husband and be okay. There is no way under heaven that you are ever going to go and marry your ex-best friend's husband and be okay. There is no way that you are ever gonna go and marry your ex-boyfriend's cousin and be okay. There's no way that you're ever gonna go and marry your ex-boyfriend's best friend and be okay. Papa, your life will always be followed by the stigma. The stigma. And imagine, lama totalana, they also come with now the baggage that comes with having married at first, right? Another woman. So, manje, like in the case, for instance, in like your auntie's husband. I mean, the kids of your aunt, what are they to you? They are like second cousins, I guess. So, manje, what then are going to be your children and the children of, yeah, you get my point. Well, what are going to be the children of you and your auntie's ex-husband's kids? They will be family. They're not in-laws, but they are in-laws. What are they? It's not even incest. Because it's not like the guy was a member of your family, got blood. No, he's the one that married into the family. The aunt is the one that is related to you. So there is no true relation but for the fact that he's an in-law. So what in the world does that? Yo, I don't even want to calculate this stuff. When you go with your jonja, ga sisters, or ga auntie, or ga kasi, yeah. You're gonna frequent those circles. The ones that are most taboo are the ones that are proper like cousin, the ex-boyfriend. So you were with the ex 15 years ago, and now you're with his cousin. So now you gotta have a different mamazala. There was a woman that used to call you Makoti, future Makoti. Hey, Karabo Tanam, my future Makoti. And now his aunt, instead of his mom, his aunt instead of his mom is calling you Makoti. You will never be okay. Even if Mebatanda at the time when you were together with that guy, just by mere virtue of the fact that now so funuk chata a cousin. It's like, girl, is there nothing in you that is uncomfortable in Dabayokuti? E ex-boyfriend yako is a cousin ga your fiance. That's what they're trying to do. There is no recovering from that. It's what I'm getting at. The intention is to disrepute our credibility. It is to squander our credibility as Christians. At the end of the day, you will always be your Karabo, uchate, cousin, ka ex-boyfriend yake. She dated the guy for 7 years, and then 10 years later, my cousin yakona. So meguyisconi saga that guy. Manje guyisconi saga my cousin. I say cousin, yeah, that guy. Like gisconi sa osi wajano wa the cousin. angeke ube right. And there's nothing that this guy can say to his family and to you that will ever really truly make it all go away. Like, you will always be the wife of a man to whose cousin you were initially girlfriend. It's always the woman that takes a beating. Pina Elea Beyonce. It goes, he's always laughing and flirting with me, and you act like you don't even care. As a matter of fact, you've been real distant lately, acting like I'm not even there. He says that you don't deserve a girl like me. I'm starting to think that he's right. Baby, if you let him take me from you, I guess I'll finally see. She's basically saying that your boy is always laughing and flirting with me. You act like you don't even care. As a matter of fact, you've been real distant lately, acting like I'm not even there. He says that you don't deserve a girl like me. I'm starting to think that he's right. Listen, women desire to be loved. God, if anything, charged men to love women the way that Christ loved the church. It is just inbuilt in us very naturally at a subconscious level in a primitive way. We just long to be loved. And if a dude is out just saying, he says that you don't deserve a girl like me, I'm starting to think that he's right. Baby, if a guy is saying things that you want to hear, like, that guy doesn't deserve you, let me love you, because of your natural inclination towards desiring love, coupled with the fact that from now on a woman's desire will be for her husband, you will be literally never mind inclined but declined to think that it could work. At least he's seeing that my boyfriend doesn't treat me right, or my husband, in this case, Dilanga, my husband. At least he sees that my husband don't deserve a wife like me. I'm starting to think that he's right, baby. Yeah, somebody out here happy to acknowledge that you are an unloved woman in a relationship, and he wants to love you. It's a trick straight from the pit. It's a trick because women fall for it all the time. Women fall for it all the time. Dudes being out here like, baby, let me love you. Let me be the one to, baby, I just don't get it. Do you enjoy being hurt? I know you smell the perfume, the makeup on his shirt, proper. But this time around, instead of being some stranger guy that just sees from a distance that you got a boyfriend that's not treating you right, it's literally like his cousin. His cousin being on some, Tay did not treat you right. Hey, when the two of y'all were together, why didn't he propose marriage to you? Like, bumping into you at Clearwater Mall while you buying some shoes. And he's like, hey, Karabo, what's up? Oh my goodness, girl. It's been what, like 10 years? Since you broke up with Tay. Yeah, I know Tay wasted time, hey? To this day, I keep on telling him that you were supposed to marry Karabo. To this day, I keep on telling him, Muguti, she's the one that got away, daughter. How could you not marry that? I don't know how he done passed you up, girl. Whoa. Anyway, how you doing? Are you good? Are you good? Hey, maybe we should have lunch sometime. You will literally end up like Nia Long in Love Jones. Humiliated with your ex-boyfriend at a party where it is that your new boyfriend is at. And the new boyfriend is his boy. Everybody looking at you like, girl, have you no manners? Girl, have you no scruples? How you gonna rock up here in the arms of a dude that is the friend of your ex? You will always be looked at that way. You will always be looked at that way. But you see, it's a lure. It's a lure. And it is a very successful lure to women. It is a successful lure to women because we desire to be loved. And those of us Christians who have been waiting on the Lord for husbands since, I personally have been waiting since I was 26. I'm 40. You will literally look at your ex's brother. Like, it's that kind of taboo. Like your ex's brother, your ex-boyfriend's brother, blood brother, as in same mom, same dad. Be like, Karabo, I just don't get it. Did you enjoy being hurt? I know you smelled the perfume, the makeup on his shirt. He wasted 10 years of your life. How long did you date? Bad as you are, you stuck around. I just don't know why. This guy will be out just singing you that as a ballad. And you will be like, yeah, he did waste my time. And look at all these years down the line, I'm still single. And then he'll be like, Futinyazi, I can tell, Uti, he's put spells on you. He never really was able to get over you. And because you wouldn't get back together with him, that's why you're still single today. You're still single. Such a beautiful woman. Like, for what? You're still single all these years down the line, so he will tell you literally everything that you want to hear. And you out here thinking, he's single, or he's newly divorced, or he's whatever, and grab all that baggage. Never mind the baggage, but the reputational damage, and think that it could work. No, it can't. It can't. It cannot. Ubudi. Same mom, same dad. So it's still the same skoni, and it is still the same makoti, but this time to a different son. Same makoti, different son. Same makoti, older brother. Same makoti, younger brother. But same makoti. This time the mama's not gonna like you. This time that taboo is just gonna stank up the nose of everybody. This time around, uzozi mosha. That which wasn't broken, you try to fix it. Everybody agrees indeed. Ukuthi he messed up. He messed up, he lost a good girl, you are the one who got away. But on the day you decide to marry his brother, or on the day you decide to marry his cousin, on the day you decide to marry his best friend, all that flies out the window. Your good girl status will not matter. Hlongwane is not gonna matter. The fact that you waited on Christ for a husband for 10 years is not gonna matter. The fact that you've been praying and fasting like Hannah is not gonna matter. The devil is trying to make your testimony not matter. He is trying to make people look around wagging their heads on some don't look at her getting married looking all beautiful and Sabina Etta James's at last my love has come along. Yeah, don't look at this chick out just singing at last on YouTube out here doing a wedding video that's very impressive through a photographer. Do not look at that. Bottom line is Lomuntu Lam Chatayo that she's busy singing, oh, you were mine at last. The man to whom she's singing at last is ex-boyfriend's brother, dog. It is ex-boyfriend's best friend, dog. It is ex-best friend's cousin, dog. It is her cousin's husband, dog. For ex-husband. It is her auntie's ex-husband, daughter. It is her sister's ex-husband, like that level of taboo. That level of taboo. My love has come along. My lonely days are over, and life is like a song. Oh yeah. Kamu sa iting kamu. Diasebwa like no man's business at your wedding. At last, the sky above the stars are blue. My heart is wrapped up in clover. The night I looked at you, who is my ex-boyfriend's best friend, but that's a technicality. He is the love of my life, but he's my cousin's ex. I found a dream in my sister's ex-hubby, a dream that I don't realize is a judgment on me. Oh yeah, when he smiles, I forget that he's my cousin's ex-husband. And here we are in heaven. For my ex's brother is mine at last. You will thoroughly be out here singing yourself that song at the peril of your uncomfortable reputation. Gotta go. I didn't want to be distracted. I'm not alone anymore. That's what I'm getting at. So I had to walk. I get to walk again, guy though. I'm just walking. I'm walking. My hiking a battery. Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at, guys. Hopefully this massage is going to be finished in a minute. Now. Get la beke fedit. But this is a whole thing, guys. Get strategy. It's a whole strategy from what the Lord showed me. And in my particular case, I'm not going to describe the details because I don't want to implicate this guy. And I also don't want it to come out because it's just too taboo. But it's just somebody that's literally too close to home. And unalikash. And the Lord showed it to me again. Even though already at first, right? So he's already shown me this taboo, this tactic, this strategy, but I ignored it at first because, like I said, the situation is too taboo. Okay, and this guy, however, that is too close to home is not the first one. There are others that are not that close to home that feel this way, that however would still be taboo. Like I've had multiple dreams, nightmares. It's more like nightmares of my ex-boyfriend some of his boys thinking, Guti, maybe I can try, maybe I can test, maybe I can whatnot. Like these guys of which are still in his life, and even if they were not in his life, I'm not about to go minanyoba umfazi ka anybody's, any of my exes, anythings. Like any of my exes, anythings. Like ex's uncle, ex's cousin, ex's dad. It's literally that taboo. Like the taboo of these unions is at that height. Angizoba mina. Somewhere where I'm not going to be loud to neighbors, like people that live in close proximity to these properties. But there was too much of a sun at Lair. Maybe more will be there. Maybe even more fast. Yeah. Okay. How's that? Yeah. I've had like multiple dreams where people that it would be just absolutely taboo to be with, thoroughly thinking that maybe I could try that out. And the thing that motivates them or inspires them to feel as if this is like a whole feasible thing is my singlehood, how old I am. Like, I mean, I've been 37, 38, 39, 40 single. All these years that I've been doing these videos sharing on YouTube, I've been basically what they call past age, like Sarah. Too old to still have, you know, ama standards or ama options. Bafila ngathi angina ama options ngoba sengimdala. But even if I were to be like super duper old, Ilanka was super duper old, like as in cracking, like everything just pendulous, everything on the floor being dragged. The way that from youth, like aging, like overnight, you still don't date your ex's dad. Like, you still don't date your ex's brother. You still don't date your ex's cousin. Like, if I am so old that I am dragging my cheeks on the floor, what would be feasible to settle for, if you will insist to settle for, is some dude or divorcing. You've never met, or you met him in the office, and he's like got 2, 3, 4, 5 kids and an ex-wife that's always all up in his grill. That is a kind of settling that might not win you a horrible reputation. But you don't go out and date your ex's daddy. Like, what in the world? Your ex's cousin. Like, what in the world? Like, there are certain things that just are like too much. And from what it is that God is showing me, there are entire like strategies. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hello. There are entire strategies to wed God's daughters off to dudes that are that level of taboo, like that level of crazy, like that level of Karabo. Like you go out, you have people be looking at you like, we understand what you uzwe ubuhlungu. Impilo yakhe is here. The carpet was ripped from underneath her feet. Mara hayi kangaka. You will never recover. It's a whole strategy. And like I said, the thing that is causing these men to want to go out like that is a severity of guilt. It is guilt, okay? They do feel bad. They really do feel bad for what they did. They realize that they tarnished that which God gave them to rather build. They now want to be stellar citizens, members of society that are respectable and that have rightly stewarded what it is that God gave them to steward. They essentially want to do what God wanted them to do all along, but they want to start from scratch with our unfortunate souls. They want to start from scratch with us. They want to come into the lives of God-fearing women. While homes that they burned, there is an inferno in the background, ravenous plumes of smoke in the sky. And they just want to abandon that. They don't even want to bring an extinguisher, a fire hose, nothing. They don't want to bring a fire hose or an extinguisher, nothing. They just want to be like Askisi. Like, I'm sorry that the house is burning. I really do apologize that the house is burning. I was a fool. I burned a house. I did a wrong thing. I broke a woman until she became a witch. I created Medusa. Got where the damage is done. It's too extreme. Angizolungisa mina lana. Impossible. How do I turn back the hands of time? I can't. Alright? I am a magician. But clearly magic cannot turn back the hands of time. So what I'm gonna do is basically start again from scratch. The women that I passed up when I was 27, 26, 25, 22, because they were just these goody two-shoes that didn't want to have sex outside of marriage. They were always talking about God. Hey, okay, so their godliness has paid off. But now, even though they were really great women, they are passed up at 40, passed up at 45, passed up by 35. They are single at ages that most people are telling them, hi girl, just give up. I'm your tati divorcee. I'm your tata guy with 5 kids. Go and make a blended family somewhere. The whole world is literally yelling at single women in their 30s and 40s and beyond. They are yelling at us to settle. They're yelling at us to settle. And because the world is yelling at us to settle or else, these guys are like, I'm happy to love you, but they are so taboo that they are even worse than, like I said, the divorcee with the 5 kids and the yapping ex-wife. They are your ex's whole uncle, apelele. They are your ex's whole cousin, apelele. Your ex's best friend. They are your sister's husband. They are your cousin's husband. And he wants to leave her for you. It's just really ridiculous. And the intention is to decimate our reputations. That's what the devil is trying to do. Lamadoda thoroughly think ukuthi if feasible lento bafuna ukuyenza. Basenze. They acknowledge basenze, so at least they've got that right. Like I said, they are 5% into the redemption journey. They have got more of a preparedness, to admit that they were wrong than they were before. So we've made some traction. We've made headway. In that at least by admit ukuthi ba wrong, ba moshile. They did. They know now that they are responsible for calamitizing the female population, the children population, the earth essentially at large is dying because lamadota bayenze in nonsense. They at least are at that place. They are at a minimum at that place. And for that we will be grateful, because it at least also means they're going to stop burning fires in people's properties that did not have it coming. At least they now have a desire, a real... Like in the dream that I had last night, the one guy saw me walking around in society naked. I wasn't naked. Don't even understand what that was about. Essentially, he believes that me sharing my testimony so openly on YouTube is like the tantamount of walking around naked. No, it is not walking around naked. I'm sharing my witness, and on top of that, my nakedness, even if it was there, it's only because the covering that I'm supposed to have for a man is absent. Why? Due to men like those. Men that saw it fit to take away my hubby. Okay? And I'm actually walking around kapenti and kwai and some skipper. And he follows me around on some Karabo. Why are you wearing just your underwear? Where's the clothes, right? And in front of me, mopilaka, strewn all over were clothes. Like diaparo that I could wear, like the jean, like jeans and skirts and whatnot, right? And they were right there in front of me, and yet somehow I was stuck and I couldn't take them and wear them. And he sat next to me and he was like, what can I do for you? What can I do? I was like, hand me those shorts so I can wear them then, right? And then he hands me the shorts and I wear the shorts, all right? And so I'm less naked than before. And then he just kind of sat around there and he kept on shuffling, closer and closer to me, to a point where once he was like super close to me, all of a sudden welled up in my heart were all these strong romantic feelings for him. And the dream essentially ended with me feeling very strongly about him. And I mean, the way that this guy, it would be so taboo if I were to end up with him. In my dream, that also came off on some, we can't be thinking this way about each other. There's no way we can't be together. I was thoroughly considering it, because he was out here helping me wear clothes when I was naked, the way that a man would indeed come and be a covering to a woman, you know what I mean? But like, this dude was not for me to take in that way, but I was considering him. But in the dream, the taboo was also poignant. It was there. That was the last night's dream. I've had a dream in the past, maybe the past like month, where it is that the guy was there, right? I think he kissed me on the lip. I already told you about that particular dream, right? He kissed me on the lip and then sort of kind of backed off, because it's always taboo in the dreams. Yet the dude unale crash, and finally I decided to acknowledge what it is that I'm seeing in this dream. And I'm like, God, okay, obviously you want me to talk about this, but how do I even begin to raise that somebody very taboo has feelings for me? Like, how in the world do I even begin to raise that thing? And that's when the Lord was like, this here is not your problem only. There is a pursuit on my daughters by men that are absolutely inappropriate to be in their lives. And the level of inappropriateness is at the height of, never mind causing a man to divorce his wife for a woman that claims to be a Christian, and then them going to the sunset. It's at the height of literally husbands of cousins trying to marry godly girls, husbands of sisters, husbands of dads, moms, uncles, aunts, best friends of ex-boyfriends. Like, hey, guys, the Lord was telling me that the taboo of these wannabe unions is at that height, and that it's going to do nothing but spray humiliation on the Christian, massacre their witness, their testimony, that which would have been their at last moment. Indeed, you saying that God finally gave me a husband. Kodwa ukufile abuti wa ex yao. That's from God. Really, Karabo? Okay. Alright, girl. Alright. Yeah. Like they're trying to destroy the reputation of Christians. They're trying to destroy it. And these men literally feel Ingati this year is a feasible thing because they have caused God's girls to be single at ridiculous ages. At 35, 39, 40, 45. And they think ukuthi because of the age that we are at. Kwamele thina manje siyochata abobuti bama ex-boyfriends ethu. Kwamele thina siyochata ama ex-husbands wama cousin ethu. Kwamele thina siyochata ama ex-husbands wabo sisters. Abo baba bama ex. Hey, abo uncle, but my buddy ex-boyfriends, but they expect us to go and take our auntie's husbands. It's that bad. But the longing or the desire for God's girls by these men is inspired by their genuine desire to do better. Kodwa, it's like basically a means to an end. Their means are horrendous, but the end is right. They're on to something. Indeed, they need to repent. They need to do better by society. They have destroyed society. At least they have acknowledged that much. But the way they're trying to fix it is by messing up with our lives. This time around, burn a fire in a fireplace instead of right in the open air. They thoroughly think that it's feasible to marry us as the uncles of our ex-boyfriends. That's literally what's going on right now. So I am trying to warn you ladies, be careful of the dude that's gonna rock up on some baby. I just don't get it. Do you enjoy being hurt? I know you smell the perfume, the makeup on his shirt, like a man that's going to actually understand your plight of being passed up and treated like trash by some exes, bewitched by exes that have insisted our chatty and all that jazz. Yeah, be careful of embracing men that will understand where you're coming from, offer you a hand of help, put some garments on your nakedness. However, when you look at him, he is your ex-best friend's husband. Yeah, when you look at this dude, he is your ex-boyfriend's best friend. He is your uncle, he is your aunt by mere virtue of the fact that he married your auntie. He's your uncle because he's married to your auntie. Yeah, that's what these men are. They're not related to you, so it's not incest, but it might as well be. It's not incest, but it might as well be, like, because of just how close to comfort it is. It's gonna come, and because of how much you've been parched of affection, how much you've been parched of love, how much you've been longing for a husband, hope fulfilled makes the heart sick. So hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. Because of your hope being deferred, these words are going to come as salve to your open wounds. They're going to be healing. It's going to spark feelings in you. For them, it's literally going to essentially prosper to light some kind of a flame in your heart. But do not hearken to it. Like, put it out. Like, snuff it out as soon as, like, proper. Just see it for what it was. Like, back in the day when I was dating my ex-boyfriend Ute, and his boy Tsehufat was all up in my grill trying to take me to his bedroom. Then I didn't have a lot of hurt. I was not broken, I was not crushed. Plus, I was 18 and highly sought after all across these streets of South Africa, of Johannesburg. Do you understand? And now I'm 40 and I am abandoned, I'm neglected. Therefore, the response to such pursuits of your person like that, these creepy hands all up in your grill, is that much more a feasibility now. Now that you have been parched of affection, and seeing as a woman's desire will be for her husband, seeing as we long so much for the affection of men, now the risk is real that you could actually consider it viable to date Tshegofatso with your boyfriend Tay not being home. It is entirely feasible because they are going to appeal to your love thirst. The fact that right now you are in a Hunger Games arena of affection and you are older and unmarried, and so properly odloshelwa ke uncle Yeah, but like, it's not really your uncle because he's not really blood family. The person here whose blood is your aunt. You will thoroughly consider it a feasible thing when your uncle divorces your auntie, and then you will start to think things like, but like he's not really blood. And literally let yourself be that taboo in the family as a God-fearing woman. You will have your reputation squandered, Wankutwa. You will end up hanging out nabangani, ba ex-boyfriend yako. But this time around from a vantage point where you're somebody else's girl. Otlabe olema kwapeni jwano, wa his ex-boy, his boy. And it's going to be weird and taboo. He will be avoidant of you, of course. And you will forever be regarded as a harlot in certain circles. You will. What I'm trying to explain, guys, is that you are not going to recover from that, women. You are not going to recover. They are appealing to your love thirst, your love hunger. Do not hearken to it. You will not recover. All I can counsel you right now is hunker down when your uncle is pursuing you. That's not really your uncle. When your cousin that's pursuing you, who's not really your cousin because he's your cousin's husband, so your cousin-in-law, when your ex's brother bumps into you at the mall, when your ex's brother bumps into you at the mall and starts to speak sweet nothings into your ear, see it for what it is. Literally put yourself in the shoes of an 18-year-old girl that has many options and realize that lo muntu uyafoster, just as mina. I thought ukuthi usekhufatso megahesha. I was 18 and highly sought after and in love with somebody else. Think of it that way. You're in love with Jesus and you are waiting on him for that which is fit for purpose for you. And when this thing comes, recognize it as the taboo that it is and how it is that as inappropriate as it is, it's going to mess with your reputation. You waited on God. You are not about to go and be regarded as a harlot. When you've been celibate, Mina, personally, 13 years. You've been celibate for 10 years, 5. You've been celibate for 7 years. And you are going to be looked at ingati when you are the village bicycle. Ingati, you have no scruples. It's what they want, it's what they desire. That's how men are wired. They think more about their own rapacity, their greed, satiate their own sensations without thinking about the potential calamitizing effects of your ecosystem around when you are with them. And they don't get given grief. They don't get given grief the way that you do as a woman. So look out for yourself. That's what I'm getting at. The man here is the one that is going to keep on getting greeted. Hey boy, unjani. No, grand. While the guys are going to be looking at you as some hello Karabo. Yeah, because we're not busy to best friend. Yeah, ex yaho. He will still be friends with his ex, with his best friend. He will still be out your chest bumping his best friend. And they will all look at you like, yo, I know you were celibate for 13 years. You want 13 years. They're gonna look at you like you're a whore. Don't do it. It's coming. So I'm trying to warn Christian women to avoid this kind of pursuit. My battery died while I was finishing the last message, but it's okay, I'm done anyway. Yeah, moral of the story, guys, expect it, like this situation, the circuit, not it's here. I've experienced it from multiple angles already, where I've seen Korvela curses coming at me from friends of my ex-boyfriend, all different kinds of weird stuff, okay? It's already here, it's not even coming, When Wi-Fi's on, the battery dies even faster. I've seen it. Mara, this is the first time I've ever seen it coming at the proximity that I saw in my dream, and I'm finally covering it. Not that I would ever capitulate, because no, it's just wrong. But like I said, they're gonna appeal to the fact that you've been parched of affection for years. You've been struggling, you've been getting persecuted, you have had the rug pulled from underneath your feet. You've been hurt, you've been betrayed, backstabbed, the whole nine. They are gonna sing you ballads like they are their lappy. Take me in your arms, I promise to be true. They are going to basically tell you what you want to hear. And it's gonna be hard to say no. I personally have got a love language that is words of affirmation, so you can imagine how it must have felt for me to 4 years not have anybody affirming me. And so when somebody walks up and tells me beautiful things and confirms that which I've been sorrowfully complaining about, saying that look, they've done you dirty and you deserve to be loved, that's the kind of stuff that can give you feelings for a man. Don't fall for it. Women, do not let your wounded state make you prepare to embrace the dressing of your wounds by your auntie's ex-husband. That's all I'm getting at. You don't want to be that taboo. You don't. It's going to decimate your witness as a Christian. It's going to make you lack credibility. And you are never going to be given the respect that you Hello. Deserve. You are never going to be given the respect that you deserve. And given how long you would have waited on Christ for answered prayer, it's going to be a travesty that the thing that you finally settled for is your, like I said, like an ex's cousin or something. Or worse, your cousin's ex. Ex's cousin or cousin's ex. The one year cousin's ex is even worse because you're the one betraying family instead of them betraying their fam. So just like, yeah, look out for it, okay? Like, that's all I'm saying, guys. Like, just look out for this thing. Ieza. And it's gonna come like a bat out of hell, out of nowhere. I know how it feels. I know how it feels to have somebody that you shouldn't be looking at like that talk to you like somebody that deserves so much more, and then you develop a crush on them. I've had that happen before. Hey guys, I confessed it in one of my videos long ago though, so it's in my old stuff that I've already privatized on YouTube. I spoke about how it is that I literally developed a crush on a friend of my dad's. Okay, I developed a crush on him because he was basically saying to me that don't nobody do that to a woman. You shouldn't be getting treated like this. Nobody should be handling you like this. You know, they should be handling you with kid gloves. You're a beautiful, young, gifted woman that should be getting treated a lot better than this. And I thoroughly, because of the way that this person was consoling me in a time when everybody was just spitting on my shoes, I thoroughly developed a crush on a man that when I was just a toddler, I was out here having a crush on a man that saw me grow up, that called me Nana at some point. Yeah, I had a crush on Ikesa, Elinye Eli Hadnok. That was my dad's friend, and he was a married man. And if at all I had allowed myself to go out like that, hey banna, uhlazo lungaga kubathung bako Yesu, uhlazo lungaga kubathung bahaye, humiliation engaga on my name, mina ngizobonwa nje as some chico ngena maitseo. And frankly, everything that came and slapped me silly upside the head, people will say I deserved it. Ngoba vele vele ngikititha ipitsa kholo tsayela batho banna. Like this man pulled his support from me because in and of himself he started looking at me like I was a woman instead of indodagazi that he was helping along. He started hating me, calling him uncle. Initially he was cool with me, and then he started feeling like uncle, because frankly he's a man and I'm a woman, and that's the reason why he even pulled help from me. He was gonna give me a job, he was gonna set me up, he was helping me as a favor to my dad. What developer a crash, and then started speaking certain things to me, speaking about how I don't deserve to be treated like this. I confess, so I had a crush on him. I even spoke about it in my ministry, and the only reason why I developed those feelings was because he was affirming me during a time when nobody else was. If I was not suffering the way that I was suffering, I would never have developed a crush on Ubabawam. He was basically like my dad. He was an uncle figure. Do you understand? Never. These feelings come precisely because you are parched of affection. They come into your heart precisely because nobody else is affirming you. They come into your heart precisely because nobody else is looking out for your cause. They come into your heart precisely because I get that's prepared to admit that which is true about your life. Indaba yokuthi you're a travesty, indaba yokuthi uyenzwe bad, dirty, indaba yokuthi bakuzwisa ubuhlungu abantu, indaba yokuthi you don't deserve everything that's going on la empilweni yakho, indaba yokuthi you're bigger than this, you're smart, you are talented and yet overlooked, strangely. Uzokamfata lo muntu. And when you gain consolation in a season when nobody's consoling you, you are going to have inhliziyo yakho ivuleke nje ngembali. Do you understand? It's gonna blossom like a shoot, like a flower. For somebody that under normal circumstances when you're being validated, under normal circumstances when you're being loved, under normal circumstances when you're being catered to, under normal circumstances when you're being acknowledged, regarded, respected, and protected, mengeke lo muntu mbuke like that. You never would have looked at them like that. So it's basically exploitative and opportunistic, this little attempt to go in for the kill. And sometimes these men, it's not necessarily that they're being malicious. They are just trying to satiate their own desires, run with them without exercising self-control, but it is literally at the devastating expense of your reputation. Don't fall for it. Don't take it. That has been celibate for 13 years, guys, and allow yourself to uyontshontsha indoda ye cousin, uyontshontsha indoda ye auntie, uyontshontsha indoda ye sis wakho, or uyojola nomngane why your ex, like, or cousin. You can't let that. You literally, it's going to fall on you. That's what I'm getting at. Wena as the woman, everybody that has ever had a bone to pick with you and everybody that has ever mocked you, wonke that's ever teased you and treated you like you ain't jack, uzoba rightly confirmed in that position. Bazo, they're basically gonna heap insults on you. They're gonna say, Uti no wonder you went through what you went through. They are going to say, Karabo, when you've never been that girl. How do you type it? Even your friend, boyfriend, let alone your aunt, husband. So do not allow the coddling of your broken heart by a man of sorts to make you see it as a viable thing to now all of a sudden be his wife. Don't allow yourself to be the thing to launder their dirty clothes. Let them run to God. Because they are at least broken enough to admit that bamoshile. Kota bafuna ukuyohlaba batla go lokhatkola di garments tsa lona ka matsogo a gago. Ba batla go tlhatswa go suga diaparo tsa bona ka matsogo a gago. Eseng ka Morena Jesu. God is the one that launders impahla zethu mazindaga, guys, not us. We come to him when we are heavily laden and laboring, and then he gives us rest. We are not to try and take on the status of Messiah. These men are trying to make you their laundromat instead of Christ. You must reject them until they run to the one that they truly need, because they are 5 seconds away from redemption, but they will never go the full mile. They will never run the full mile to actually truly grasp the pearl of great price unless you reject them. They are trying to fix what they messed up through you, and in so doing will destroy your reputation. So mess up with everything that God has built in you and the testimony that God was going to share with the world in you. They are going to learn to squander it. It's not the intention of Moshe. They just want to titivate their taste buds, satiate their hunger, but they don't realize ukuthi is of God. They are hungry for the love of God, but when you emanate it, you have the love of God in you, and they are therefore idolizing uthando lakaSomandla in you instead of going to actually the source of that love. So don't let yourself be comforted to a point of making a stupid decision by a man that rightly is guilty for his bad deeds, but is trying to fix the situation. Right now, don't let them cleanse their garments through you, because all they're gonna do is muddy you. Sisters, boyfriend or ex or ex-husband, whatever, kakazi, like you are not about to do that. Ha utobas koni twice over ko household on your ex-boyfriend because you are just dating his brother. Don't let that be you. It's coming. I keep on repeating myself on a loop. The same thing, because that's just how poignant this thing is. It's coming. If not already here. Not in my life personally. Say figile. So now you're also experiencing it. So if right now you're busy with your head in the sky, with pie in the sky ideas about some dude or wrong, let it go right now. Let it go right now. What I'm trying to tell you is that not dump him, because my prayer is that you're not even dating him at all. But in the way I consider at all the thing, dump it. Even the prospect, whoever you are flirting with, all inappropriate right now, do not carry on. Stop calling him. Stop texting him. Stop taking phone calls. Uncle Yako, because he's your uncle, if at all he's married to your aunt. Noma angaba same age and whatnot. Noma angaba handsome. Noma angaba able to comfort you and whatnot. Bottom line is, umyeni ka auntie. It's that basic. Or ex-husband ka auntie. Even when it's an ex, it's gonna be taboo gini. Aguzo chatiswa guy too in the same family. Okay, likasito nyadisa. Go heno. And do a the same man. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Do you understand? Don't let that happen. Abantu bebamjabulele uanti wakho makachata, kodwa wena bazokujabulela, bazokubona nje as something greedy and nasty engenanhliziyo, ethathele i-aunt yakho i-husband, even though i-aunt yakho Gresham deserved leya divorce yakhona ngoba she was a wayward woman. She was a Proverbs 7 woman. Unambora, she made him live on the corner of a roof. She was a dripping tap. She was contentious. Let them deal with that on their side. Mara, do not be the thing ezofika la emgaqweni and essentially fix the problem of a man having made a woman Medusa. What I'm trying to get at is salvage yourselves. Stop taking calls. Whoever you bumped into at the mall that is your ex-boyfriend's friend, stop taking calls. Block them on WhatsApp or cordially let them go. They are drawn to you because you are Hlongwane, and they are not going to stop unless you end it. You gotta end it. Mina personally, with that dude, my dad's friend, I was the one that the moment I started to notice ukuthi uba off, I started to close off in terms of his conversations and his compliments, and that's what made him pull the favors that he was doing me. O decided because of the fact that he decided to accommodate anymore as warmly as I was, because I saw that he was flirting, and it ended. But at least I am safe from being the taboo chick that went and dated her dad's boy. Yeah, I am not that girl. I'm not that girl today. So y'all need to be the ones to pull the plug on that. Okay, cool. I hope you've been edified. I am signing out in the name of Jesus Christ. This has been quite the challenging conversation, given that I didn't even know how to tackle this, but I feel like I've done a pretty good job. Y'all, yeah, be very afraid of blasts from the past. Cause Cran K signing out. Peace.